Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to be speaking about Errol Spence acting out of character in the lead up to this Tim Tszyu fight. We're also going to be speaking about Shakur Stevenson not wanting his brothers to fight. Then, of course, we're going to get into some open boxing topics. But before we get into all of that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,600 mark. Looking to crack that 3,700 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments so far. Shout out to everybody that's hitting the like button. Let's get the algorithm on the up so that people know that Mazuma TV is live. Thank you very much, man. Shout out to the boy Denitric Banner. Showing love before the live started. My boy Z as well. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to the replay gang as well that be coming through, checking out the lives when we not live, man. Much love to everybody that's going ahead and supporting the channel. Yasir Ali, what up? My boy got his username back. That's what's up. Marissa Alvarez, the little sister's in the building. One of Philly's favorites right there, man. Marissa Alvarez, what up? Slime El Tortador. What's going on, brother? What's going on? Talk to me, man. What's on the people's minds? Jalil Aziz, what up? What's going on? Talk to me, man. What y'all on? What y'all on? Shay, what's going on? I'm chilling, man. I can't complain. Came on the live a little bit late today. Fell asleep with my son. Thank God I put an alarm, because if not, your boy would have been out for the count, man. We beat the count, though, so that's what matters. We had some assistance, but we beat the count. That's what matters. You know what I'm saying? My boy Yasir said, man, Earl don't look right, bro. Look, man, I've been trying to be as optimistic as possible when it comes to Errol Spence. And I put out a video earlier today just speaking about my concerns. Because at the end of the day, I could be optimistic all I want. But one of the things that I refuse to do, that I've done in the past, is overlook what my brain is telling me. You know what I'm saying? Putting your emotions ahead of your logic, it makes you look stupid each and every time. You know what I'm saying? So I try to avoid doing that at all costs. And I got a lot of love for Errol Spence, bro. I love him as a fighter. Seems like a cool dude as well. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about him as a person, you know, especially in the boxing world. I only heard good things about Errol. You know what I'm saying? And I love what he contributed to the sport of boxing. Just an ideal fighter to support. You know what I'm saying? Like going straight into the smoke, you know, believing in himself, taking on all the biggest challenges, you know, overcoming adversity. And he's attempting to do so on Sunday night against Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a little while for Earl. You could tell that, you know, Errol Spence been through a lot in those 3 years. He's matured a whole lot as a person, I would say. Seems like he's taking the initiative, and I'm not saying he's a deadbeat or anything like that, but prioritizing his family, you know, staying away from the alcohol, which he's admitted, staying away from the partying, you know, and just putting his family first. And, you know, over time, I guess within those 3 years of Errol Spence being away from the sport of boxing, he took on another identity, you know, and he says if it was up to his family, you know, he wouldn't be, you know, in boxing anymore. That he'd have just rolled off into the sunset, enjoyed, you know, his the fruits of his labor and stuff like that. And, you know, I wouldn't, you know, let me see how I can say this without coming across a certain way. You know, I would expect his family to take that approach. You know what I'm saying? But he says that he's doing it for himself. And he says, you know, he said a whole lot of things, man. But, you know, I broke it down in the video that I put out earlier, man. Go check that video out, man. I gave y'all a lot of reasons. But, you know, one of the main reasons was, and I brought this up multiple times, you know, he said that he was coming back out of boredom. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that might be cool to do if you're like playing golf. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing basketball at your local 24-hour fitness or LA Fitness, whatever the case is, cool. If you out here playing cornhole or whatever the fuck the case is, man. But at the end of the day, this is boxing, and you need to have more than just you know, trying to free yourself from boredom. It needs to be a little bit more of that in order to get back into the mix, man. You know what I mean? You need to have a chip on your shoulder. You need to be willing to prove the people wrong. You got to be uh be goal oriented, and I don't really hear that from Earl. You know what I mean? I'm hearing shit like I said, that he's bored, and um he never stopped training, but he admitted that this camp was really hard, which is nothing wrong with that. He's just being transparent, something that a lot of fighters aren't, in all honesty. Of course, the whole 160, change up last minute, and I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I was saying, like, yo, man, maybe he's just paying attention to his body. You know what I mean? He prioritizing his rest and stuff like that. And, he coming off a 3-year layoff. So he doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to put his body through the stress of cutting all this weight out of nowhere. And, that could result in him overtraining. Like, I'm giving him all the reasons in the world. And maybe that is the reason. But when they asked Errol about it, he said, man, I just ain't want to make 158. I just ain't feel like it. So to me, that's like, it's a difference between, moving calculated and doing what's in the best interest of your body, and then just not feeling like doing something. You know what I'm saying? I also heard that, it seemed like he switched up his stance on why he's fighting in Australia, because he said he was looking for a challenge. So that's why he was going to Australia. Then I hear another reason, and he's saying shit like, I just didn't want to do a million interviews out in Texas. And maybe both of the reasons are why he decided to fight in Australia. But it just sounds like Errol Spence just is sick of the process. He just sounds jaded. That's just what it comes across as to me. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence is showing me a lot of red flags, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. A lot of concerns, for real. Just sounds like the motherfucker just want to fight. It don't really sound like he's really driven. Doesn't really sound like he's on the same type of time he was earlier in his career, where he was willing to make sacrifices in order to make things happen. This is a more relaxed version of Errol Spence Jr., who's, at one time his identity was boxing. It just seems like his identity has outgrew boxing, to me. Then on top of that, I just think that fire that he once had isn't as strong as what it used to be, man. You know what I mean? They done threw some sand on that motherfucker. They done threw some water on that motherfucker. And, the flame might still be there, but it wasn't that roaring blaze that it once was. And, that comes with age and stuff like that. But, when you're coming off of a 3-year layoff, a bad beating, and then you going in there with an aggressive, come forward pressure fighter with some pop like Tim Tszyu, I can't help but feel like you may possibly be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the comments. My boy Jalil Aziz with the $4 super chat. Salute to the brother. He says, should Spence be done if he loses to Tszyu? I think it depends on the fashion in which he loses. Like, if it's a competitive back and forth fight, and Tim Tszyu gets the nod or whatever the case is, then it's like, all right, Errol Spence may not be like world level anymore, but he probably could still do some fights. Another thing that was concerning was that he's still speaking with the idea of retirement. He also says something along the lines of, even if he wins, it might be a possibility that he may retire. If he loses, then he's going to retire. It's that 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing that, in all honesty, is very detrimental to fighters in the lead up to fights, because it lets you know exactly what their mindset is. And, if they're thinking about retirement and they go through some tough times in that ring, it may be a thought that crosses their mind where it's like, man, it's not worth going through this shit. I mean, like I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I'm not as determined. I ain't got that willpower that I once had. I mean, my best moments are behind me. And I don't want to go, like, I don't really, remember when Victor Ortiz got all swolled up by Marcos Maidana? He was like, I don't think I deserve to be getting beat like this anymore. When you are at the tail end of your career, or you just no longer have that fighting spirit that you once had, those are thoughts that are going to creep into your mind. You go from warrior your whole career, and then when age catches up, and the training is taxing on your body and your mind, you slowly but surely become a civilian. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's Errol Spence, but it could possibly be when you got one foot in, one foot in, one foot out like that. You know what I'm saying? But if he loses to Tim Tszyu like in brutal fashion, he gets knocked out, stopped, whatever the case is, which I pray it doesn't happen. But if it does, I think it will be in Errol Spence's best interest to no longer allow himself to take punishment. He's made a shit ton of money. He doesn't need to come back to boxing for financial reasons. He has a beautiful family, he has beautiful kids. I think he just needs to attend to them and live this whole next chapter of your life. And just based off how the way Errol Spence talking, it looks like he's looking forward to, tapping into that new chapter and going about his life however he feels, he should. You know what I'm saying? So Jalil Aziz, if he loses in devastating fashion, then I think it is time to walk away, because I don't think a prime Errol Spence would lose to a Tim Tszyu, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like this a prime Tim Tszyu. This is a damaged, diminished version of Tim Tszyu too. So, it is what it is. But yeah, Jalil, I agree with you. You said, I guess leave it with all your faculties is definitely more important. Your health comes before people's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality. And if anybody thinks otherwise, they being selfish and they priorities fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Got the night shift off. We active. What's going on? What's going on? J Cash, what up? My boy Justin Jackson in the building. The nation is definitely here. What's going on? What's going on? My boy Nostalgic said he don't want to be asked questions about the Bud fight. That's why he went to Australia. They're not going to press him over there. Well, the media still are going to ask questions that's similar to what they ask here in the U.S. I think the only difference is in Australia, they're more appreciative of Errol being there. They're going to show him more love, be more positive. They're going to be more welcoming, a little bit more hospitality on their side. But don't get it confused. The media is media. They're going to ask whatever questions they deem is appropriate. Just sound like Errol don't want to deal with anything. That's what's making me feel like he just burned out. Like he just don't got the energy for this shit anymore. And I noticed that, like Stephen Fulton, who's on the card as well, you could tell he burnt out from the sport too. Like you could tell like he don't want to cut weight. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't want to do interviews. He be giving the media. What be fucking me up about Fulton is he be giving like the media attitude and like be standoffish with the media, and I don't really be understanding that from Fulton, because a lot of the shit, let's keep it real, a lot of the shit that fucked over Fulton in his career, it was really his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. So when you get criticized for your wrongdoings, you upset and you pretty much you hating the whole boxing world and shit like that. You fed up, you upset, you emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody tell you to be having problems with women in the lead up to your fight with Oshaki Foster. You ain't hear her voice in the crowd, so you was really in your head. Ain't nobody tell you to be blowing up in weight and then, trying to cut the weight all suddenly. Then when your body cramping up, you know what I'm saying? You underperform and embarrass yourself in your last fight. Nobody told you to go to Japan with weight issues where you running on the treadmill in a hotel room and you allegedly passing out and stuff like that. Like nobody told you to move in that way. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not the media fault that you went through that. That is your fault. So you have to deal with the criticism that comes from your poor choices. You know what I'm saying? It's like that with family as well. Like if your family see you tripping, your family see you doing some shit that you shouldn't be doing, if they real family, they gonna hold you accountable. And I'm not comparing family and media. Media guys, they strangers at the end of the day, but they watching your every move just like your family do. And if you do some good shit, if they, objective media, they gonna give you props for that. If you fuck up, they gonna let you know. And you shouldn't be mad at anybody but yourself. I seen him at the Barclays during the Boots and Xander fight. Motherfucker got an attitude, face all balled up, leaning against the wall. Like, what the fuck is you so upset about, bro? Like, if you gonna be like that, why even come out? You know what I'm saying? Fulton was acting like a diva during the Foster buildup. He was. He ain't got no rap for nobody. You know what I mean? Bro, do your fucking job, bro. Do your fucking media. You know what I mean, answer these motherfucking questions and go out there and perform. If you do what the fuck you need to do, or you perform how you need to perform, and you stop cutting corners like you've been trying to do, talking about after you beat Oshaki, you moving up to 135. For what? You little. You ain't got no abs at 130. You about to go. I don't think Fulton ever had abs, to be real. Some people just genetically like that. But like, nigga, you had a whole gut against Oshaki. You going up to 135? For what? You not like, you think you big because you eat a lot. That's not how that shit work. You know what I mean? Shit, I ain't nothing for me to motherfucking eat. I ain't no big nigga. I'm 5'9". You know what I'm saying? But I'm much bigger than Stephen Fulton. But even I know I'm not a big dude. You know what I'm saying? When I was boxing, that shit was 140, 147. Nigga, in the amateur, 141, 152, whatever the case is. That's where I was at. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, but I'm walking around like, what, 180 something right now? I'm not fighting no light heavyweight niggas because I eat a lot, because I eat good. I'm not about to sit here and fight no Dimitri Bivol, no fucking bro. Them niggas will body me, bro. What the fuck? Like, what am I doing? What I'm trying to say is you trying to, exist in a weight class you ain't got no business being in. Them niggas at 135, you be walking around 160 and be looking like motherfucking little Terrio and shit. You know what I mean? Them niggas be at 135 weighing 160 and be lean as fuck. Leave them niggas alone. My boy Justin Jackson said, I do sympathize with Fulton when his mom said, damn, there goes my house after he got slept by anyway. Now that right there, that's some cold shit. Not gonna lie to you. That was I ain't gonna lie, I did sympathize with him. I was like, damn, like when he said that, I was like, damn, that's really what she said. I'm like, your mother? That shit gotta hurt you to the core. Absolutely. And I could see why Fulton probably got cold hearted based off that situation. That gotta be painful, man. But what I was speaking on specifically was how the way he handles the media. You know what I mean? Like I don't think, like, despite you going through those type of things, man, you should still, you know what I mean? You obligated to do things at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's a love-hate relationship with the media, but you just got to do it. That's just what comes with the game. The media is helping you get your fights out there. Whether it's negative press, positive press, it's press. So, you know what I mean? They getting your name out there. They keeping you in the headlines, and they could very well be the reason why somebody comes through and buys a ticket to watch you fight. That them posts from the media may be the reason why somebody buys a pay-per-view to watch you fight. So you just got to go through the motions with all of that. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I rarely hear media ask Stephen Fulton personal questions. A lot of the things they ask him has to do with boxing. And, they're going to ask you questions about situations where, you weren't at the top of your game or you came up short. You got to deal with it. That's what come with this shit. Not every question is going to be tailored to soothe your emotions. That's not how this shit works. But that shit right there with his mother, that will make me not, I know that's my mother, and that's what sucks at the end of the day. That's your mother. You feel what I'm saying? But that in itself will make me not want to support somebody. Like, damn, what you mean there go my house? The fuck? So what you trying to say? I failed you? I'm a failure? I fucked up. I fucked up. I'm the breadwinner. It's all cool when I win and I lose. And now you thinking about, you're not even thinking about my safety. You're not even thinking about my health. You're thinking about your house. That's where your mind is at. That's some cool shit. That's some cool shit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, my mom would have said some shit like that, and I was in them shoes. We would have definitely, that shit definitely would have got heated. Absolutely. Her son lost, and the first thing she thought about was her financial security, not her son's health, not her son's, you know, safety, none of that. That's crazy. Jalil said dudes really be the meal tickets for their families. Yeah, and they the ones who go through the most shit because they feel the pressure to continue providing because these sometimes unrealistic expectations are on them to consistently deliver, you know what I'm saying? And one slip up and then everybody talking crazy about you, everybody saying that, I mean, you done changed up and that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure that come with that shit. And these are people that you grew up with, knowing your whole life and shit that you felt like had unconditional love for you. But you know this real quick. That the only motherfucker who gonna give you unconditional love as a man is either your mother, most moms, and your motherfucking dog or your children. Besides that, bro, all of this shit out here conditional. The moment that you stop providing, women will switch up on you, your cousins will switch up on you, your friends will switch up on you. It's some cool shit, but it's the reality. But to get back to this Errol Spence conversation, man, I seen the whole handshake situation with Tim Tszyu and stuff like that. And from the very beginning, I felt like Errol Spence was looking for some type of like mental edge going into the fight so he could have some type of motivation to go ahead and fight Tim Tszyu. I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt like it doesn't sound like in the lead up to the fight that Errol Spence was very motivated. He cited boredom as a reason why he was coming back. It doesn't seem like motivation to me. It just looked like somebody just coming around trying to find some shit to do. You know what I mean? So from the very beginning, when he didn't shake Tim Tszyu hand, I thought that was a bit out of character for Errol Spence because I never really seen him do that. I've seen him get in arguments with guys like Sean Porter, Kell Brook, and all these other guys, but then still have this respect. But at that point in time, Errol Spence was actually, even with Mikey Garcia, he was going back and forth with Mikey Garcia, still was respectful towards him. Even going back and forth with Terrence Crawford. He was going back and forth with him, and they shook each other's hands at the weigh-ins. So I just found it funny that, he had respect for all of those guys, despite, words being traded back and forth and stuff like that. And with Tim Tszyu, who really doesn't say too much, to be honest, all of a sudden you don't have no respect for him. It's like he's trying to find an angle. He's trying to find a way to hype himself up to go ahead and be motivated for this fight. That's how it come across to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and I brought it up in the video, y'all remember Kevin Garnett. Y'all remember KG, the what they called him, the big ticket. At one point in time, he had the biggest NBA contract in history with the Minnesota Timberwolves and all of that. I remember Paul Pierce had a story where Dirk Nowitzki was frying KG, frying. And KG, I guess he was frustrated with what was going on. And, KG is the ultimate competitor, so he was looking for an angle to go ahead and hype himself up so he could perform at a high level with Dirk Nowitzki. So he went over to Paul Pierce and said that Dirk Nowitzki called him a nigger. And Paul Pierce was like, bro, I was there the whole time. He didn't say any of that. And that nigga KG said, yes, he did. He said it in German. And even though niggas was laughing and shit like that, it told me that KG, at that point in time, that shit was the big. He said it in German. What the fuck is nigga in German? How the fuck does KG know what nigga mean? How to say nigga in German? So that's fucking hilarious. But regardless, what I'm trying to pull from that example is, KG didn't have anything to really push him in that moment where he was getting fried by Dirk Nowitzki. So he went ahead and made something out of nothing. And from that was able to give him some type of fuel to go ahead and compete against Dirk. Another example, I remember I was watching the documentary with Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan had claimed that a basketball player had said something to him, and he took it personal. The whole time, the dude never said anything to him. Michael Jordan purposely put that in his own mind to psych himself up so he could go ahead and go after that particular player. I forgot which one it was. But if y'all know what I'm talking about, please, you know what I mean, correct me in the comments. But he literally had made some shit up. And he admitted it. He was like, yeah, like motherfucker ain't never say it. I just said that he said it so I can use that as fuel to drive me. And that's what I feel like Errol Spence is doing in this situation. The motherfucker had 3 years off. You know, his identity is no longer, you know, all you know, with boxing. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like he found ways to outgrow boxing. It sounded like he found ways to be okay without the sport of boxing. He's about family. He's about, you know, even participating in different sports, you know, and stuff like that. You know, going on vacation, you know, chilling on his ranch. And, you know, Errol Spence done turned over a whole new leaf, man. So, you know, boxing is the least of his worries nowadays. This, you know, even with him having a fight, he makes it clear that, you know what I mean, boxing ain't, he just ain't all about boxing anymore. All right, cool. So with you having 3 years off, you know, not being as enthused with the sport like you once was, you know, you in there with Tim Tszyu, who's definitely not coming to play with you. He's definitely motivated. You know, he was seeking that Errol Spence fight early on in his career. That was a name that he always wanted. He admitted that. So Tim Tszyu is absolutely locked in. You know, Errol Spence knows that. So he's trying to match Tim Tszyu's energy. But the energy ain't naturally there because that flame don't burn like it once did. So what is it that he's gonna do? He's looking for something that's gonna get that flame going. You know what I mean? You know, like when you know, them motherfuckers that be out, you know, man versus wild, when they trying to spark a fire and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They might catch, you know, they got a little small flame at first and they just looking for something to go ahead and throw it in the fire so it can go ahead and light up. So they getting like dry leaves and twigs and all of that shit. That's what Errol Spence is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So he just looking for something to go ahead and add to that fire so it could become a roaring blaze. And I think that's what he's doing. You know, he's refusing the handshakes. You know, he said that, you know, he'll give him a handshake or hug him after the fight. Now he's saying in his most recent face-off that even after the fight, he's not shaking his hand or giving him a hug. So this like animosity from Errol Spence is a bit out of character in my opinion, because like I said, there's been fights where things have gotten heated between both guys. You know, he just got interviewed by Sean Porter, and Sean Porter Earl was going back and forth in the lead up to the fight, and even the post-fight press conference. There was still respect there. Terrence Crawford talking shit back and forth with each other for years. They shook each other's hands at the weigh-ins. You know, Mikey Garcia was, oh, I see something. I see something. Errol Spence was threatening to knock him out at the face-off and all that. Still showed him respect. So why is Tim Tszyu any different? Tim Tszyu not known for being a trash talker. He not known for, you know, disrespecting people or anything like that. It just sounds like Errol Spence is, you know, taking, you know, Tim Tszyu's words and, you know, trying to find a way to perceive him as disrespect so he can go ahead and you know, try to manifest some type of chip on his shoulder. That's how I take it. Shy Rider West Sider, he said, salute Mazuma. What's going on, brother? Thank you, man. He said the name is La Bradford Smith. Okay. He told Mike, nice game, Mike. Shy Rider West Sider went ahead and said, yeah, but Mike told Ahmad Rashad he never said anything to him. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. So it was like, you literally just made that up to get some type of edge. And I think that's what Errol Spence doing, man. And, you know, some competitors, they got to, in order for them to function or in order for them to perform at a high level, they have to resort to doing things like that. I gave you the KG example, psycho competitor. MJ, psycho competitor. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that there's more. I'm sure that there's more. Junior Frank said, Tim talking about I'm a retired Spence. I mean, it just sounds like a guy who believes in his abilities. You know what I'm saying? But outside of all of that, Errol Spence damn near said, Errol Spence said that he was basically retired. So Tim Tszyu ain't saying nothing that Errol Spence ain't say. So Master G, what up, brother? Ain't see you in a while. I hope everything is well with you and yours. He said, what up, Mark? You are spot on about Earl. Yeah, these are just certain observations because this is what y'all got to do, y'all. For y'all to really like not be surprised with certain fights and certain outcomes, listen to these guys' interviews, man. I know a lot of y'all don't really care for interviews and y'all just want to see a good fight. I get it. But if you really want to get a good understanding of what's going to happen in the lead up to the fight, you got to pay attention to these fighters' mentalities, man. And the only way you're going to get a good understanding of their mentalities is listening to these interviews and seeing where their head is at. And I'm not saying I'm predicting the future right now. I could be very much wrong about Earl. He might go in here and beat the dog shit out of Tim Tszyu in Australia. I don't know what's going to happen. There's so many question marks around this fight that I would not be surprised with any type of result. But when I'm hearing Errol Spence talk, it just sounds like somebody who isn't hungry, really doesn't care to prove anything to anybody. It just sounds like a contempt man that's just looking for something to do. That's what it comes across as to me. And I think he understands the sport well enough to know that he needs some type of edge. He needs some type of motivation going into this fight so he can continue to, train hard and give the best performance that he can. He don't really got nothing to pull from internally, so he's looking for external things to pull from, and that's Tim Tszyu. What's Tim Tszyu doing? What is he saying? If I don't shake his hand, it could create some type of beef against us, and maybe whatever Tim says after that, I could use that as fuel. Like it could be so many different things, but just based off of the observations alone, man, I can't help it, y'all. It's a lot of red flags with Errol Spence. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Nick J in the building. She says he was actually very clear today. He said this fight is for him. I mean, who else is it gonna be for? You know what I'm saying? This is an individual sport. So yeah, every fight you take is for you. You may have some people that you're, fighting for as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, your family, you know what I'm saying, your peoples and all of that stuff. But before it's for your family, it's for you. You know what I'm saying? It's your life that you put on the line. This is your career. These are your goals. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, in an individual sport, I would hope that you are doing boxing for you first before anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But also what he made very clear today is that he's not really willing. You just said he didn't say he was trying to prove a point. You just said he didn't say what? He was trying to prove a point to anyone or fans. He did. I heard him say that as well. I heard him say that as well, though. I'm not understanding. Am I not reading this shit right? I don't think Errol Spence is really trying to prove anything to anybody. He said he's doing it for himself, which that's cool. That's cool, but it just goes to show me that the motivation ain't there how it once was. So I think he's attempting to find something that he could use as fuel for his motivation. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Anybody else, y'all can feel however y'all want to feel. My boy Zai, what's going on, brother? You say he had a migraine? Bro, I don't think in all these years of life, I don't think I ever had a migraine. So I don't be knowing what that should be feeling like, but that should be sounding crazy how the way it's described. Thank God. I used to have like small, I don't even get headaches all like that. It'd be like the only time, the sinus headaches, bro. I used to get them when I was sick and shit. Yeah, Carmelo did say that about KG. I mean, yeah, Kevin Garnett did call Lala Honey Nut Cheerio. That's crazy. Nick J said, I think because of his last fight, there's some over analyzing going, which is understandable. He doesn't need this fight. He wants it. Anything he says will get examined with a fine tooth comb. Considering the circumstances, I don't think anybody should be surprised that people are examining each word that he says. Yeah. I don't think that's a surprise at all. I think anybody with them type of circumstances that Errol Spence got, people are going to be watching very closely and stuff like that. And we could very well be overanalyzing it, but we could also be 100% on the money. We won't really know until he performs. So we just gonna have to wait until then. I know a lot of people want to be optimistic about Errol Spence, and there may be some overanalyzing going on. I even admitted that in the video I put out earlier today, but people could very much be spot on. It all depends on what Errol Spence gives us in that ring, man. And like I said, I don't want anybody to take this as me, wanting Errol Spence to lose. I want him to punish Tim Tszyu. I would love to see him put on one of the best performances of his career. Like, that's just what I see. That's what I want to see, in all honesty. But at the same time, there's a lot of shit that's going on with Errol Spence in my eyes. Just being a former fighter, you know what I'm saying? Being in the pro game for the years that I've been in the game, it's certain things that Errol Spence is saying and partaking in that's concerning me a little bit. Like when you sitting up on that stage and they like, yo, so, you initially agreed to this fight at 158. But then, all of a sudden you switch to 160. Why? What's going on? I just ain't feel like getting down to 158. But you agreed to that. And then you wait until what's that? The week that you get to Australia to make that request. That's strange, man. That is strange. And then when you say you just ain't want to lose the 2 pounds, all right, that don't sound like a motivated man to me. That don't sound like a motivated man to me. That sounds like somebody who, who's probably already at 160, if I had to guess, because Errol does look very light. And he don't want to budge off of that square because he's comfortable. Errol Spence just sounds comfortable. All his interviews sound comfortable, and being comfortable ain't one of the best things to be while being a professional boxer. The question is if, I guess being comfortable could be an okay thing in certain instances in boxing. The question is Errol too comfortable? And we'll see. We'll see. J Cash, what up? Dabrowski MMA says Spence got me into the sport. But sucked to see him lose to a guy the caliber of Tszyu. You know what's crazy? Like Errol Spence was like, outside of like Terrence Crawford fans, bro, everybody loved Errol Spence, bro. He just had they say that fighters got the look. He just had the presentation. He's just a very likable guy, man. Like he just, he didn't really say too much. He had he was strong. He was powerful. He was relentless. He was a dog. He was taking all big challenges, taking on all comers. Like he was winning. He was winning. He was doing this thing, and this man done got fucking tossed out of a car, multiple car accidents, detached retinas, all of this shit, and this man just showed resiliency at his highest form, man. And that's a lot of shit that you can respect about Errol Spence. You feel me? Real laid back, chill dude about his business whenever he get into the ring. So it would suck. Errol Spence had a hell of a fan base, man. And he made a lot of casuals. I seen that man turn a lot of casuals into hardcore boxing fans. I seen it, bro. He was on his way. Especially if he beat Bud, that motherfucker would have beat Bud. He'd probably be the face of boxing right now. No lie. But regardless, he was doing his thing, Cowboy Stadium and all that, bro. That's impressive shit. And they was consistently, they wanted to consistently bring him back. And that just let me know that motherfucker's ticket sales was doing their thing, because if you ain't selling all like that, they don't want to bring you back. But regardless, man, this nigga was Virgil Ortiz's dream fight. While Earl been away for 2 to 3 years. But at that time. But yeah, man. So it was suck to see Errol Spence lose to somebody like a Tim Tszyu. But Tim Tszyu, one thing I can say about him, he locked in, he's focused, he's determined, he's very familiar with fighting in Australia. It's gonna be, in some instances, when you look at this fight, it's not like Errol Spence is, completely blown out from the skill set department or none of that. That's not the concern. The real concerns with Errol Spence is things that are having to do with him, not Tszyu. You know what I mean? The layoff, you know what I mean? The mileage on him. Is he going to be the same fighter? Where's his punch resistance at? How's he going to perform at 160 when he's never fought there? How is he going to, he says he doesn't believe in ring rust, but he's never had a layoff as long as this. How do we know that he'll be himself on Sunday? These are valid questions. These are valid questions, man. There's a lot more questions out here than actual answers, but on Sunday we're going to get our answers. So I'm fucking with it. I'm excited. I'm very nervous. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Shout out to the 45 people in the building. I'm very excited to see Errol Spence fight, but I am very nervous for Errol Spence as well. And I think he even acknowledged, he was like, fans are, it's understandable that they are concerned. It's understandable that they feel the way that they feel. So, I mean, we just got to see, man. One thing about Earl, he definitely going to give it his all. He's definitely going to give it his all, because he's shown us that in the past. But to be fair, he gave us his all back when he was all into boxing. This new version of Errol Spence, we got to see. We got to see where his mind is at. Is the mental fortitude still going to be there? Is, the determination still going to be there? I heard good things about sparring sessions he's had. So, he may very well be back. Another out of character thing from Errol Spence that I peeped to was asking Tim Tszyu if he wanted to spar. Never heard no shit like that from Errol Spence. It was like, what the fuck? So it's either he's really excited to fight, or he just has this confidence where it's like, even if we spar, you know what I mean, and I give you the recipe, you still couldn't beat me. So I didn't really know how to take that. Maybe he was just joking. I don't know. Sound pretty fucking serious to me. But I thought that was a bit out of character as well. So it's a lot. It's a lot, man. Definitely a lot. One thing we can't say, though, is that he's not going to be acclimated to Australia's time. You know what I mean? Because he got there at a good time. Oh, it's Saturday for us, Sunday for Australia. I was only saying Sunday because that's what I heard Errol Spence saying. But good thing you let me know that, because I probably would have waited until Sunday to watch the fight. My boy Tricks in the building said there's also Berlanga and Hitchens fight week this Sunday. Bro, no disrespect, Tricks. You know you my guy. I don't give a fuck, bro. No disrespect, but it's like, I mean, I watch it because all I do on Sunday is like my cleaning days. You know what I'm saying? Do the laundry, pick up the crib after my son wrecks my fucking living room. You know what I mean? Mop, make sure the bathroom's clean and all that. That'd be my cleaning days. So, you know what I mean? That's about it. My boy Anonymous. Nick J, why you laughing? You laughing at me? He said time tricks out. Yo, my nigga Justin Jack. Yo, I saw this nigga on Twitter, bro. I wish I could find that tweet, bro. I be cracking the fuck up at work. Some nigga said, I just broke in somebody's car and left 2 Hitchens. I left 2 tickets for Richardson Hitchens fight this Saturday or Sunday, whatever the fuck case was. Bro, I was cracking the fuck up. That nigga say he broke in boy car. Left 2 tickets for Hitchens fight in that joint. Bro, that shit had me rolling. These niggas is hilarious on Twitter, bro. Yo. Imagine boy went to his car like, oh, fuck, man. Fucking. He ain't even worried about boy broken his car. The fuck is Hitchens? Man. Man, take these fucking tickets, man. What the fuck? Yo, that's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. Nah, man. Yeah, Richardson Hitchens definitely got some. He got some rebranding to do. That's for sure, bro. Hitchens done spoke too much. He done did so much corny shit that a lot of people ain't really fucking with the nigga. I ain't gonna lie. All the way back to the Subriel IBF situation. We ain't gotta get into that. Then saying Gary Antoine Russell gotta earn. He gotta get his name up. That shit was crazy. You know, the Rolly sparring and him getting punched on, that shit crazy. Being Gervonta Davis and Shakur, little bro, that shit crazy. So then I stumbled across this video right here. I think Anonymous put it in the group chat. And man, when I was watching that, I was just like, bro, this shit right here is disgusting. And this shit is like this brotherhood shit is like a cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit, that ass is like a cancer where, if you catch cancer early, you know what I mean? For the most part, you can stop the shit. You feel me? Like, or you can prevent it from, intensifying. But when you fall back and you don't take care of it, what the fuck that shit do is bound to spread. That's how this brotherhood shit be in boxing, because motherfuckers ain't really going out of their way to try to get rid of the shit. A lot of these niggas don't want to let their nuts hang, and they just want to go ahead and stay by niggas' side and all of that and push all this brotherhood shit. Now this shit is getting worse. So now Richardson Hitchens did an interview with Ak and Barack. I always fuck that last dude name. I don't know if it's Barack, like Obama, or it's Barack. But the boy Ak and Barack, I guess you'll say, did an interview with Richardson Hitchens, and they had asked Hitchens about basically the whole brotherhood situation. Because it was like, all right, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you real cool with Shakur. Keyshawn's real cool with Shakur. So, how was Shakur feeling, I guess, when you and Keyshawn, was going at it and possibly about to fight each other? This nigga Hitchens, and this ain't really Hitchens' fault, but there's one thing about Hitchens, that nigga gonna tell. That nigga gonna tell on you. That nigga said, yeah, man, like Shakur, you know what I mean? He look at both of us as his brothers, so he really don't want us fighting. What? So because you cool with both of these niggas, and they both your mans, you don't want to see them fight. Yo, Shakur, shut the fuck up, bro. Yo, let these niggas be their own men. Why the fuck is you asserting your opinion and making it seem like because they your brothers that they ain't got no business fighting each other, or you putting your little negative vibe on the whole shit like, nah, man, y'all brothers, man, I don't want to see y'all fight. Nigga, you should want to see them fight. Ain't you a boxer fan too? Don't you respect both of these niggas' hands? They not brothers, so what the fuck is the problem? What the fuck is the problem? All right, you may be cool with both of them, but they ain't cool with each other. So they need to go ahead and mix, nigga. So that shit is weird, man. That shit is weird, man. So now not only is Shakur Stevenson not willing to fight people that's his brothers, but he don't want to see people that he look at as his brothers fighting either. So who do you want these niggas to fight then? Who do you want these niggas to fight then? So even if they not brothers, they shouldn't fight because they're your brothers. Nigga, you are not that important, bro. These niggas be thinking they bigger than the motherfucking program, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all niggas something. Y'all professional fighters, y'all definitely got y'all place in the sport. Y'all doing y'all thing in this era. Shakur Stevenson is a phenomenal fighter. But for you to think that niggas shouldn't fight because you cool with both of them, or you shouldn't, why you don't want to see them fight because they both your brothers, bro? That's selfish, bro. That's weird. That's weirdo activity. So, for example, right? I've been in Philly boxing a long time. There was a point in time where I was cool with both guys. You know, cool with both of them. Mark Dawson. Mark Dawson's a pro boxer from Philadelphia, right? And he was fighting Paul Crow. Paul Crow currently trains at Pivot Boxing Academy. He's about to fight Charles Conwell August 1st. Shout out to Paul Crow. But there was a point in time where I was cool with both guys. You know what I'm saying? And they fought each other. Mark Dawson, they was both undefeated. Mark Dawson fought fucking Paul Crow, and it was a big fight for the city of Philadelphia. Motherfuckers came out for that fight. I remember that. I was there. Now imagine how niggas would have looked at me if I'd have came up to both of them. It was like, nah, man, like y'all my brothers, man. Like I don't want to see y'all fight, man. Nah, nah, for real though. Nah, for real though. Nah, like listen though, like for real though. Oh man, like you my brother, you know, Mark my brother, Paul my brother, man. Like I don't even want to see that. I don't even want to see, man. Watch out, nigga. Watch out, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Mark probably would have looked at me crazy, like nigga. So what if we like? So what if you cool with both of us, nigga? We gotta see each other. And Paul probably thinking the same thing, nigga. It's a fight. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck about you being cool with us. So they're like that shit just super corny. I think Shakur responded to it, but I don't know. He kind of been on his Tank Davis shit where he just he's saying shit, then he deleting it. Why? I don't know. I don't understand why. And that's the thing too. Y'all got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers all across social media, right? Like y'all know this. So y'all know as soon as y'all tweet some shit, even if it ain't an important tweet, somebody gonna screenshot it. So all the nigga gonna do when you delete a tweet is post the shit. So I don't even know why y'all do that. This nigga Shakur could go on Twitter right now and say some shit like, I'm bored. 8 niggas gonna screenshot that shit. It's inevitable. So y'all niggas need to stop being so fucking emotional. And y'all niggas need to think before y'all type. Shakur corny. Look, a lot of niggas think Shakur corny. And what's crazy is I ain't never really hear niggas talk crazy about Shakur like this until he started talking that brother shit. This brotherhood shit definitely tarnished they rep. I ain't gonna lie. It's hard to take these niggas. It's hard to take niggas like that serious, man. You be popping all this shit. I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm the most skilled fighter. Blah blah blah. Can't nobody beat me. Blah blah blah. But then you got niggas in or around your weight class that could possibly beat you or give you a run for your money. No, that's my brother. I really love my brother. Bro, like that's really my brother. I really love my no for real though. Like, look me in my eyes, man. Like that's really my brother. Like I love my brother. Like I love my brother with all my heart. Yeah, bro. Like that. Like it's really that deep. Like nigga, you might as well get that nigga tatted on you, cuz these niggas be. I mean, y'all niggas on some Krishan and Blueface shit, nigga. Might as well tat this nigga Keyshawn face on your motherfucking mitt, nigga. That's how y'all niggas giving it up. It's giving obsessed. That shit giving zest to low key. I ain't gonna lie. Bro, friendship ain't never. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I got a homie of mine. I was just and the reason why I ain't go live yesterday, yo. The reason why I ain't go live yesterday, I went to a J. Cole concert in Philly. I went to go see J. Cole for the fall off tour. And I went with one of my homies that's been a close friend of mine since 6th grade, bro. And in 6th grade, you 12 years old. Bro, I'm 28 now. So 16 years, this boy been a close friend of mine. I'm sorry, bro. And I got a lot of love for his name Justin. I got a lot of love for my homie Justin too. But if we happen to be, if we happen to be in the same career, if we happen to have the same career, and this motherfucker ranked number 2 and I'm ranked number 1, or I'm ranked number 2, he ranked number 1, and there's millions of dollars on the table for us to compete, to provide for our families, I would feel disrespected if the nigga didn't want to fight me. Because I would look at it like, so what you, bro, this is what we here for. Like, we here to make this motherfucking money and, chase this motherfucking, this legacy defining shit. You don't want to give me an opportunity. So you don't want to break bread with your mans, but you want to break bread with these niggas that you don't know. That's sucker shit to me. That's whole shit to me. And it's like, all right, bro, like, it's definitely going to be awkward. Let's not get it fucked up. You know what I mean? It's definitely going to be a little crazy. But this is what we signed up for. This is what we signed up for. Y'all niggas, like, y'all know, like, when y'all create accounts or whatever the case is, y'all open a bank account, whatever the case is, you got to go through the disclosures. A lot of motherfuckers don't even read the disclosures. But part of the, with this boxing shit, when you become this fighter, is this is what you signed up for. A lot of this shit, bro, this shit gonna be hard. This is a very, in my opinion, racist sport. They're gonna try to limit you. They're gonna try to marginalize you, especially if you're a black fighter. There's gonna be people that you never satisfy. There's gonna be people that's never gonna like you. There's people that you're gonna go on social media. They're gonna criticize you and bash you all day, whether you're doing right, whether you're doing good or not. They're gonna find ways to talk shit about you. You could be giving the fans every fight that they want. They still talking shit. You know what I mean? There's going to be motherfuckers who you was cool with in the past, but they talking shit about you on social media. You know what I mean? There's people that might take personal digs at you. Like, this shit, all of these things come with the game. And, what also comes with it is having to fight a motherfucker that you cool with. Like, that come with the game. Like, Zab Judah and Floyd was cool. Like, they was good friends. They had to see each other. Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder, they was close friends. They had to see each other. Abdullah and Albert Bell. Bro, Albert Bell showed a picture of Abdullah. Abdullah was like 12 years old. They took a picture together. 10-year age difference between the two. They had to see each other. And Abdullah was like, yeah, it was weird, but I had to do what I had to do. Real nigga shit. Greg Hackett about to fight against a nigga that he cool with, the boy Ali Ellis. They cool. They about to rumble each other this weekend on some Philly versus Philly shit. Come with the game, man. Lamont and EJ was cool. Yeah, Nick J, that's a fact. EJ actually looked up to Lamont. He said it. Beat the shit out of Lamont like he was a stranger. That's what come with this game, man. Motherfuckers they signing up. These motherfuckers are signing up for the game without reading the fine print. And then they want to go ahead and make their own rules along the way. No, you signed up for this type shit, bro. And what's crazy is I sound crazy for saying this, but for the sake of boxing, fuck it, I said, I hope y'all niggas have a falling out. I really do. I really hope y'all niggas have a falling out. I hope Keyshawn wake up one day and say, fuck Shakur. Or the opposite. I hope Shakur wake up one day and be like, you know what? I ain't really feeling this nigga Keyshawn. We're going to have to see each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really hope that. But what most likely to happen if they do have a falling out is going to be Keyshawn. Because Keyshawn, that nigga a little cuckoo. That nigga a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying? He be bugging. He be wilding. So, you know what I'm saying? Keyshawn was about to say something about Shakur the other day. You taking my fights? You taking my fights from me, Court? I'm gonna go to G Press Gym and we gonna spar. You must then start dancing to try to. Yeah. Remember, Keyshawn called Shakur and Hitchens weird for their relationship on Twitter. Shakur never responded though. Keyshawn took that shit down. So, in my opinion, it's inevitable. But I don't know, man. I think that brother shit is really pushed heavily by Shakur. I think Keyshawn will flip on a nigga at the switch of a dime, but this nigga Shakur keep reassuring Keyshawn, so Keyshawn be keeping it cool. But Man, hoes. My boy Trick said, Mazuma, how come Errol Spence and Adrian Broner didn't fight? Was it because they were brothers too or something else? Well, to be fair, Tricks, Adrian Broner, he won a world title at 147, but he was never truly a 147 guy. Them guys was too big for AB, man. That's why the one thing about AB was he lacked discipline. So he would try to fight at 140, and then he would switch up the weight last minute, just like Errol Spence did with Zoo, where he be like, oh man, like this weight getting hard to get off and shit. Cause you know, he was already fucking with liquor at that time. So he's like, all right, we're gonna make it a 147 contest. He'll just compete from there. So AB be fighting at 147 due to his lack of discipline, not because he necessarily belongs there. And to be fair, at the time that Errol Spence was coming up at 147, Adrian Broner didn't have a belt. Then on top of that, I never really heard AB say he want any type of rumble with Errol Spence. Never heard that. But yeah, AB was too small, man. AB would have, especially against that version of Earl at that time he was coming up, he would have stopped AB. I heard he knocked AB out in sparring. That's what I heard. Or he knocked AB out on his feet in sparring. So AB probably knew from there, like, I don't want no smoke with that nigga. But while Spence was climbing, Broner was already on the decline. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when did Errol Spence win his world title? Was that like 2017, 2018? Let me see. He won his world title against Kell Brook. That was 2017, right? So at that time, what was AB doing in 2017? Probably losing to Mikey Garcia, some shit like that. In 2017, he was losing to Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Then he fought like in 2017. So between 2017 and 2019, he didn't have a single win. He was 0-2-1. He lost to Mikey. Then he fought Jesse Vargas. I was there at the Barclays when that fight happened. He got a draw against Jesse Vargas. I thought he lost to Jesse Vargas. And I mean, I think he gave up too many of the early rounds. Then he went ahead and he lost to Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? So at that time, you know what I mean? And then he had a tough fight in 2017. He had a tough-ass fight against Adrian Granados. You got a split decision against Adrian Granados. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't know about that. Y'all ain't know about Errol Spence knocking out AB in sparring. I don't know if I said it wrong. Spence knocked out AB in sparring. What? Y'all never heard about that? Bro, when Errol Spence was coming up, it was all these rumors about him fucking people up in sparring. Say he fucked Floyd up. They said he gave Floyd a black eye. That's what he was building his reputation off of. Clarissa Shields said she sparred Earl and he was super strong and all this shit. There was like, yeah, and I heard about the AB shit. AB was denying it at first. Niggas out here lying. Errol Spence ain't do that to me, blah, blah, blah. Then Errol Spence came out with an interview. I remember he was like on like a it was like a red carpet type of interview. They asked him about it. He was like, yeah, like, you know, it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hit him with a good shot, blah, blah, blah. He told the truth. They said Earl was fucking Jermell up too. Yeah, they said there was a nigga that was in a gym, supposedly, that said that that Spence dropped Jermell in sparring. I don't know if that's true. There was some nigga that claimed to be at that gym. He said he saw the sparring session. He said that Spence dropped Jermell. I don't know though. I would love to see that film. I know they was recording that shit. especially when Showtime was around. I know they record them sparring sessions. My whole thing is like, I don't understand what niggas would be recording it for. The people never going to see it. Just put that shit in the vault for forever. I don't be understanding. Yeah. Irony Boxing, what up? Yeah, AB was already he was already on the down. He was already experiencing his downfall. Unfortunately, when Spence was on his come up, so that's the reason. I think AB knew that Spence was too much for him. Then on top of that, AB was never, in my opinion, a true 147. Like, what is AB's record at 147, bro? Like, I know it ain't that good. And you knew, like, he tried to y'all remember when AB fought Sean Porter? He had Sean Porter fight him at a catch weight on some Shakur Stevenson shit. I think it was like 144 or 143 or some crazy shit like that. They both have gotten the better of each other. They scarred a few times. They sparred a few times. Spencer Mill. Yeah, those with both of those styles though, like as a coach, you can't have them spar all the time. You know what I mean, they could do some real damage to each other. Just stylistically, they both strong. They both let their hands go. They do damage. And a lot of people they lose a lot of they lose a lot of their fight in the gym because of them tough sparring sessions. I remember when Coach Panda said that he had Subriel and William Cepeda spar one time, and he said never again because they'll destroy each other. I would have loved to have seen that prime Subriel Matias versus William Cepeda sparring. Woo wee! I know that shit was going down. I know that shit was a shootout off the rip. AB versus Jake Paul comeback fight. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised, man. I can see Jake Paul, especially because AB popping with the streaming shit right now. I can see Jake Paul, but Jake Paul might be done, y'all. Because I was hearing some shit about his jaw. They said his jaw not healing properly, and if his jaw doesn't grow, if it doesn't heal how it's supposed to, like these athletic commissions won't approve him to box. I think AB. No, I think people are not really talking about how much damage Joshua really did to Jake Paul. He really fucked his jaw up bad. This nigga said, imagine Matias with Canizales footwork. Ooh-wee. What was crazy about Subriel, I think when he left Coach Panda, he just wasn't the same no more. When he was with Coach Panda, his intensity was different. You never seen him gas out. He was punching super hard, and he had some pretty sound defense, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like he had some sound defense. I used to see him catching shots, slipping shots, rolling underneath. You know what I mean? He still would get hit here and there because he was aggressive, but actually seen him being responsible. It's like when he left Coach Panda and started working with this Puerto Rico trainer, this obese boy and shit with this long ass stomach. It's just like the nigga like just became a crash dummy. Man, he fell off crazy once he left Coach Panda, man. Now, where is Subriel? I have no idea. He embarrassed himself against Dalton. Coach Panda said that Subriel was like sick or some shit. To be real, Panda, I know that shit guy, but we ain't trying to hear that shit. That nigga had, well, yeah, Ostarine in his system too. Nobody trying to hear that shit. Yeah, that's the thing about AJ though. AJ be taking these niggas serious. That nigga AJ be taking these niggas serious, man. Like, you know how Tyson Fury didn't take Ngannou serious and Ngannou was on his ass low key, high key. And Ngannou started feeling himself. He was like, all right, I beat up on Fury. I'm about to beat up on AJ too. This boxing shit easy. That nigga AJ said, yeah, all right. That nigga said, yeah, all right. Nigga. Put that nigga Ngannou to bed. Easy. That nigga Ngannou is used to being a puncher. You a puncher in MMA. You not a puncher in boxing, respectfully. Different type of technique, different type of punching power over here. Yeah. That nigga Ngannou went to sleep, leg bent back. Yo, if you fall, if you get hit with some hot shit and that leg bent back, you done. Nigga tore his ACL. I'm cool. And then they told that nigga AJ, yo, you want to fight Jake Paul for a bag? And nigga Gervonta can't keep his hands off bitches. You want this slot? That nigga said, no problem. You know how AJ be talking, no problem. That nigga went in there. Yeah, I'll fight. I'll fight him. I'm, at the end of the day, I am a fighter. I am a fighter. No problem. Jake Paul, no problem. Nigga went in there and beat the dog shit out of Jake Paul. And that nigga, man, he hit that nigga. He hit that nigga like. Yo, I was gonna say some wild shit. That'd have got me demonetized though. Man, that nigga AJ looked like he did it for his ancestors. That's what that shit looked like. Let me just say that. Nigga look like he did it for his ancestors. Ooh, wait. One thing about AJ, he don't be sleeping on them niggas. He take them niggas real serious. That nigga AJ was already in camp. They said he was gonna take like a stay busy fight. That nigga Jake Paul became the stay busy fight quick. Mazuma versus Jake Paul live on the zone. I can honestly say that nigga Jake Paul too big, man. Pause. That nigga's he's a lot bigger than me. And I'm washed, nigga. If I ever come back, I'm there. I'm definitely cherry picking. Mazuma on brand versus against Southpaw for 6 figures. Bro, I would fuck Southpaw up. Y'all niggas don't get it, bro. I would fuck him up. I will whoop him, bro. Mazuma versus Mario Barrios. That's gonna be a draw. I'm gonna win the first 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna win the first 6. He gonna win the last 6 because I'm gonna be tired. It's gonna be but you know what I mean? I'm gonna have some moments in them late rounds too. You know what I mean, I probably pull off the split. I probably win a majority decision. Yo, they said Mazuma versus Gervonta Davis. Hell no. Nah. Cause that nigga Gervonta, you gotta make sure you don't make no mistakes against him. He too sharp. Mazuma versus Boots, why would you do that? That's my guy, man. Bro, you wanna know how I know Boots strong as shit? Have you ever shook a nigga hand and you could tell off the handshake what type of strength they got? I challenge anybody who's ever been around Boots to shake that nigga hand, bro. That nigga's like arm strength off the handshake alone. That's a good indicator, boy. That nigga is strong. For sure. Mark Zuma versus Dean the Great. I would fuck Dean the Great up. Keep fucking them hoes, keep drinking, keep partying. Nigga. He too little. He stepped to me on some bullshit like that. I be seeing that nigga Dean ain't got no defense. I'm bigger than Dean. I punch harder than Dean, and I know for a fact I'm faster than Dean. I would fuck his little ass up. Facts. Mark versus Lima. Mark versus Luis Lima. That's gonna be fight of the year. I'll probably quit on my stool though, because I can't keep up with that pace, man. It's gonna be a 4-round fight. I'm like, yo, Pop, I can't. that nigga he too in shape for me, man. Get that nigga off me. Yeah, Dean don't got footwork like me neither. I gotta show y'all niggas, man. One day I'm gonna show my training sessions. I'll show like me actually training. Show y'all my footwork drills, my shadow boxing drills. I be wanting to do that shit, but I be feeling like niggas be taking shit. They be dicky. Niggas be newsy as shit trying to figure out what I'm doing anyway. Mark versus NUA in Japan. I'm gonna whoop NUA ass. Mark versus Nova. You talking about Abraham Nova? Yeah, I watched Abraham Nova. No lie. Do that nigga like Robesi did him. Boom, bing! Oh shit. Yo, Robesi was snapping at that time, bro. I thought Robesi was gonna do some shit. Bro. They was calling that nigga the train. That nigga threw a right hook, left hand right down the pipe, knocked Abraham Nova the fuck out. I was like, damn. I said, this nigga Robesi wildin'. This nigga ran into Espinoza and brought the bitch up out of him. I was like, shh. That was super bad, John. Mark versus Straight Jacket Key. That's gonna be a DQ, bro, because Keyshawn get frustrated and start throwing niggas around, and he don't want to do that with me. No, he don't want to do that with me, bro. I would fucking toss Keyshawn on some Royal Rumble shit. Like Montana Love did that white boy. I would fucking toss Keyshawn, bro. Mark versus Ball in the UK. Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring my own chef to the UK though. I heard y'all niggas food nasty. You know what I mean? I need me I need Puerto Rican chefs, man. Puerto Rican or Dominican, it don't matter. As long as you know how to make some motherfucking rice. You know what I'm saying? Not that no Asians. I'm sorry, baby. You know what I mean? My girl Cambodian. No, not that type of rice. You know what I mean? We need a Puerto Rican or a Dominican chef. I love Dominican food and Rican food damn near equally. We're gonna have to bring a chef to the UK. You feel me? Cause nah, we ain't doing that. Wow, why this nigga said Alberto Lopez? Mark versus Prime Foreman? That's ain't no way, bro. I swear to God, bro. Bro, I'm catching a DQ off rip. Soon as that bell ring, I'm running at him like Edge. I'm gonna spear that nigga. Who the fuck is Roberto Del Rio? What the fuck is going on? Mark versus Haney. Man, that nigga, I'm assed out with Haney, bro. Nigga gonna jab my fucking face off. Haney, I'm fast, but I ain't Haney fast. Haney got a different type of foot speed, hand speed. He more athletic than I ever was. Yeah, that'd be a bad style matchup for me. Nigga probably do me like he did Ken Bosis. Market Mazuma versus Ryan Garcia. A little concerned about his speed, man. He got some really good fucking speed on that hook. My eyes would have to be real sharp for that shit. I had his motherfucking whole camp. I had his motherfucking right hand covering my whole temple. Just protect that temple, bro. I swear to God, I probably only throw my left hand in that fight. But once I bring the bitch up out of him, I got it. Mark versus Bell in Cleveland. Mark versus Rolly. Hell no. I would never fight Rolly. Mark versus Josue Vargas. I'm clipping him. I don't even want to be in the ring with that nigga, man. If you know, you know. That nigga like to play with his booty. I'm cool. Any nigga that play with their booty, I do not want to fight y'all niggas. Mazuma versus Berlanga? Hell no. That nigga, that's a big ass Rican boy, bro. I'm cool. He big for a Puerto Rican, bro. Like that nigga, Berlanga be 200 pounds easy, still be looking like he in shape. No, I'm cool. Mark versus Benavidez in Phoenix. This nigga high. Oh, cool. I got the homies in Phoenix. You know, Jay Cash. I got a couple. Michelle Rosado. She live out Phoenix too. I got people over there, but hell no, that nigga would do me super dirty. Pause. He said he'll watch. This nigga Bethaniel said he'll watch Berlanga. Then nigga, you in the wrong career. You need to go ahead and turn pro. Mark versus Fundora. Hell no. I got a 6'5". I got a 6'5" boy. I could probably spar for that. Man, I ain't got time for that. Mark versus Bud in Omaha. Damn, y'all niggas is frying me with these matchups. Y'all don't fuck with me like that because y'all matching me up with all dogs. Y'all ain't give me no bums. Y'all ain't give me not one bum. Nigga, my box rate gonna be 0-50. Mark versus Moses Atama. Yo, Ralph, you need to get timed out for that. Mark versus Clarissa Shields. Bro, I would knock Clarissa Shields out. If I hit her clean, I would knock Clarissa out cold. How the way this left hook set up to the head or the body. If I'm in great shape, because Clarissa, she be in dog shape. She don't get tired of nothing. She a dog. So I would have to be in super good shape and I would just focus on speed. I catch Clarissa right in between the combination. Boom, bah! I definitely would knock her out. Mark versus Fury, fuck no. Mark versus Bam, I love Bam, man. I would never. Bam will fuck me up though, man. He gonna steal my punches. Cause you know them little dudes, they reflexes super sharp. Man, he probably place a body shot and fucking fry me. I ain't gonna lie. He probably ain't got the power to knock me out cold or nothing like that. But he probably place a body shot that probably take everything about me. I ain't gonna lie. Mark versus Cordell Booker. All right, now we talking. Now we talking. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Mark versus Alicia Bumgarner. You petty. You petty tricks. I ain't gonna say nothing about Alicia. I heard she ready to start suing niggas. I'm cool. She kept insinuating that she gonna sue Clarissa. Clarissa said, man, shut your ass up before I slap you again. She said, shut up before you get in some more trouble, nigga. Mark versus Hackett. Nah, that's my brother, man. It's like, no. Greg Hackett is no, all jokes aside though, Greg Hackett could really fight. Niggas be clowning him because of his record and shit. He got legit skills. He could fight. That'd be a good one. I sparred Rasheem Jefferson though. I sparred him a while back. Man, that nigga outworked the shit out of me, bro. That nigga threw like 100 punches around. Drowned me. That was a bad joint. I was sick at that time, though. I ain't gonna lie. I did it just because it was Rasheem. I had a lot of respect for him. Mark versus Ammo. Oh yeah, I'm knocking that tail right out that motherfucker back pocket. Hell yeah. I'm sparking. Mark versus Errol Spence. Well, bro, y'all sure don't fuck with me, bro. God damn. Yeah, Tricks don't fuck with me neither. This nigga said Andy Ruiz. Mark versus Aleem. Mark versus Bruno. Bruno Sarase. You trying to get me clipped like Munguia? I'm cool. Y'all niggas. Yo, y'all some tough ass matchmakers, man. This nigga slime crazy. Alicia can't ride according to AB. Man, we got a little girl in the chat, so I'm gonna refrain from speaking on that. Mark versus Brock Jarvis. See, now we talking. See, Ralph know what the fuck he get where I'm coming from. Nigga, I ain't boxing 7, 8 years. 7 years. I've been out the game. That's double Errol Spence inactivity and some change. +1. And y'all niggas want to match me up with fucking Shakur. Y'all niggas want to match me up with, man, Hitchens is going to fry me with the 1-2. I ain't going to lie. Mark versus Scam Likely. I would definitely fight Scam Likely. He could actually fight. I would really have to train for that. Because if not, he'd probably fry me. But I think at my best, I think I'll beat him. This nigga said prime Larry Holmes. Yo, Slime, go fuck yourself. Brock Jarvis, Ralph, I clip Brock Jarvis. I would fuck Brock Jarvis up. Coming all juiced up like that, nigga. First joint I hit you with clean. Because one thing about Brock Jarvis is like he put on all that muscle, but his chin was still in them small weight classes. Oh yeah, I would have fried him. Mark versus Denzel Bentley, weak ass. That's crazy. Shout out to Denzel Bentley. He just won a WBO. He just got elevated to WBO full status champion at middleweight. Xander need to go ahead and talk the top rank and get him put in position for that fight because he could beat Denzel. But in my opinion, but shit. I know a close homie of Denzel Bentley's. I was like, yo, let me get him on the channel. So we trying to work that out right now. Mark versus Zaybop. Yeah, Tricks, you petty. I would fuck Zaquin up. Zaquin came in my mentions talk. He came in my DM talking crazy one time. I was not with that shit. Ain't no nigga named Zaybop ever beat me. I'd do that. I'll be on my Orlando Salido shit against Zaybop. I'd walk that nigga down. Elbow him, knee him, hit him in his hips, all that. I would fuck Zaybop up. He gonna have to get his big cousin. Mark versus Tito Trinidad. All right, y'all, sir. You gotta go. Somebody time this nigga out for 5 minutes. How dare you? Mark versus Fulton. Fulton a dog. Yeah, outworked me. Mark versus Beer Belly AB. Beer Belly AB is still AB, man. I don't want no smoke with AB. Mark versus Charleston White. That's hilarious. That nigga pepper spray me. Mark versus 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao. That's still Manny Pacquiao, brother. This nigga said I'll be in my Orlando Cruise bag. This nigga's such a fucking fat weirdo. Mark versus Mark. That's a good one. That's a good one. I got Mark, though. Mark versus Dean the Great. They already said that. Mark versus Jen Sasaki. There you go, Z. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all niggas know it's Jen Sasaki. That's the perfect style for me. Go ahead and try to bang with me, nigga. See where that shit take you. Mark versus Aaron the Plumber. Oh, yeah. I'm knocking his husky ass smooth out. I'm going to come in that bitch with a belly and all. He want to look at this nigga. He out of shape. I train with Bruce Carrington. Bruce ain't going to save you, nigga. Bruce Lee, Bruce Carrington, Bruce Leroy, Bruce Jenner. Ain't none of them Bruces that walk around this motherfucking planet going to stop me from knocking you the fuck out. That's a fact. Mark versus Teofimo. I don't want no fucking smoke with that racist. Mark versus Chud the Builder. Definitely knocking him out. That's for sure. Luis Arias. This nigga, this nigga say Mark versus Jason Love. Yeah, we gotta time this nigga out. Tricks wildin'. This nigga said Jason Love, Mark versus Crip Mac, bro. I will put Crip Mac the fuck to bed. And that's on 5-5 Crip. Yeah, I would definitely not. I'll be the first nigga to put that nigga to bed. I would knock Crip Mac the fuck out. He cannot fight. Nigga said Jason Love. Yeah, Tricks had to sit down for that. That was fucking crazy. I thought we was talking boxing. Matching me up with a porn stars. Wow. What the fuck is wrong with these niggas? But to be real, I would knock Jason Love the fuck out too. He can't fight. He beat up on that little white boy. That white boy ain't even swing back. Mark versus Wilfredo Gomez. Yeah, prime Wilfredo. Yeah, he'll fuck me up. I ain't gonna lie. I think y'all niggas is overestimating my fighting abilities. I could fight, but I've never been no world level fighter. Mark versus Deji. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Mark versus Old Floyd. There y'all go. Yeah, Bruce. Don't none of them Bruces will help Aaron the plumber for what I do to him. Hell yeah. Mark versus Liam Paro. Hell no. Mark the plug. Oh yeah. You gotta sit down. What's oh no, I ain't mean to ban him. Can y'all unban Justin? I went to hit timeout and the fucking chat scrolled. Mark versus DDG. I'll fuck DDG up. Can somebody unban him? Is that possible? Fuck. Let me check. Let me check. All right, Slime did it. No, I did it. I did not mean to ban you. I gotta give Jay his wrench back. I did not mean that, brother. I went to hit timeout and then the chat scrolled up. So it hit a different option. Mark versus Rodney Shields is fucking hilarious. Why this nigga just catch a stray? My nigga Mazuma TV. What up? Web up? What's going on? What's going on? The chat trolling me right now, so I'm rocking with y'all. Mark the plug is crazy. That's low key gay. I ain't even gonna lie. Mark versus Lil Fernando Vargas. What he fight at 154 or some shit? He can actually. I mean, he not like he not better than Emiliano. He definitely not as pop. But I think he's solid. I mean, he's not like no world level fighter. He's okay. You know what I'm saying? I banned Marissa by accident. Man, I'm terrible with that shit. I'm sorry. Mark versus Cigar Talk. He don't want that shit. He don't want this shit over here. That nigga don't like me though. I know that. Ah, yo, Justin, you better stop playing with me, bro. You better shut up, man. Mark versus Jose Benavidez. I don't want no smoke with Jose Benavidez. He can actually fight. Mark versus Usman. That strong ass nigga, man. Hell no. Mark punching on Najee. I'm way too, yeah. Yeah, ain't no nigga who be drinking and all that shit. Unless you motherfucking AB. If you a regular nigga just out here drinking and talking boxing, you not beating me, bro. Hell no. Mark versus Ilya Taporia. That nigga Zaz a hater. Mark versus me. This nigga name is Gabe Horn. I would have beat the shit out of this nigga. Mark versus Fox the G. Who the fuck is that? Niggas. I can outbox who? Who can I outbox? That wouldn't be an outboxing if you talking about Jay or Jay. Taporia, a small dude. Nigga, go ahead, bro. You tried it. This nigga said Mark versus Zah. Man, if you don't know what you doing, you gonna get yourself hurt, brother. This nigga Dewey hater. This nigga said Mark versus Better Be. Y'all niggas trying to see me like this. Man, you better leave me the fuck alone. I ain't ready for that shit yet. Mark versus Oshaki. Mark versus Ray J. Yeah. Nah. This nigga said Mark versus Ernie Shavers. Yo. Mark versus Ray J is fucking hilarious. I seen that nigga super hot fire punching right on the top of his head. Nigga head was all swelled up. I felt so bad for Ray J, bro. That nigga really became a whole fucking joke out here, bro. Getting knocked out by super hot fire is crazy. Yeah, bro. Super hot fire hit that nigga. Boom. This nigga delayed. He shut down and then he fell on the ropes. Knocked the fuck out off one jump. If I was to hit that nigga like that, bro, man. Who I like this weekend? That's a tough question. What we was talking about that shit earlier. If you're referring to the Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu situation, it's too many question marks, man. I can't really call it. I was saying how, a lot of the things that Errol Spence is doing is kind of like coming across as red flags to me. But I think this is an uphill battle for Errol, man. I see that he was a favorite on some of these people's uh, betting platforms and stuff like that. But I don't think he's the favorite, man. I really don't. Uh, I think Tim Tszyu has the edge going into this fight. But I'm rooting for Earl. I want him to win. Uh, you know, he said his dead even on 365 bet. That lets you know everything you need to know. You think Zoo is a perfect style for Spence? Yeah, I think Zoo would have been a perfect style for Spence, for the Spence that we know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what Errol Spence got left. We don't know what he's bringing to the table. There's a lot of things we don't know. You said, how long is my time out? Well, obviously you ain't timed out no more, brother. Shout out to the boy Tricks. He the one. Wait, Tricks is the one who said that Jason Love shit. Yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that, bro. I should ban your ass again. That's damn near a fucking. I ain't gonna lie, Tricks. That's almost like a wrench taken. I ain't. Niggas said Mark versus Jason Love. What the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? Minus 110. I'm gonna hit up my gambling homies and see if it's worth it, but I ain't gambled in a long time, so I'll probably leave that shit alone. Somebody said Ray J, but Ray J, and I know, yeah, Ray J was fucking on Kim, yeah, I remember that, but he not, but Jason Love is only known for throwing dick on bitches, like that's a difference, like Ray J did a tape, like this nigga's Jason Love career is doing what he do, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. If I take a fight, how much for you to coach me 12 weeks? We're gonna have to talk about that, brother. I can't discuss finances on the internet, brother. No, I peeped the Mark Kardashian shit. You just a fat loser, so I'm not gonna acknowledge everything you say. You know what I'm saying? You say you ass. So why would you match yourself up against me knowing that you fuck around and get put on a milk carton, nigga? Yeah, Trick's a nasty nigga, man. A lot of y'all niggas that be on this internet, y'all need to leave that corn alone. Corn with the P. I know what I'm talking about. Mark versus Mill City, I would definitely box him. He actually looked pretty sharp. I've seen him box before, so he definitely got experience. I was watching him. He had like some old clips of him sparring, hitting the bag and shit. I was like, okay, Mill could box. Mill could definitely box. So I was like, okay, I would definitely fight Mill City. Mark versus Norman Senior. That's a big motherfucker, bro. Norman Senior, he one of them strong ass old heads. Oh, cool. Greg got that. He should do a rematch with Greg. Mark versus T.O. Senior. Come on, bro. That nigga son ain't gonna have no coach. Fuck that. That nigga he ain't gonna have a dad. Fuck you talking about? Punch drunk boxing. That sound. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Am I supposed to know who that is, y'all? B Norm got one arm, bro. That shit got surgically repaired. He got his other arm back. You gotta hit him, bro. That's hilarious. Mark versus Sean Sattel. He too small. I will break Sean up. I seen Sean hitting the bag though. He got some skills. Y'all ever seen Sean Sattel hit the bag? I heard he used to box. So he probably got some hands, man. He from New York and shit. He probably was out Gleason's out there doing this thing. You feel me? So Sean could box a little bit, but I could tell, bro. I'm too strong for Sattel. Mark versus True School. I met True School. He's small, man. He little. He gotta be like 5'5", maybe. But True School, cool, man. He shouted me out on a video he did, and he spoke well on my name, and then in person he was cool too. So I ain't got nothing to say about him. Not nothing negative. Yeah, 2 amateur fights. Well, that's what's up. Shit. My whole thing is, bro, like I'm not one of those people that feel like if you ain't got no experience in boxing that you shouldn't be talking boxing. I feel like if you are a student of the game, you took the time to really understand the game, you've done your homework, you know your history and all that shit, and you consistently spend time in the sport to understand it, then I feel like you definitely deserve a place in the sport of boxing. But if you got actual fighting experience as well, that's a plus. It's not like a requirement, in my opinion. Some of the greatest coaches, managers, promoters, you know what I mean? They ain't never throw a punch, but they just found a way to carve their name into the sports history. So, you know what I mean? The fact that he got 2 amateur fights, bro, that says a lot about Sean. Mark versus Real Talk. That's hilarious. He probably watching right now and so happy that you mentioned him. Mark versus Showbiz. I would knock Showbiz the fuck out. Let that nigga walk to me with some let him walk to me with that dumbass Mike Tyson style he got. He gonna walk. He gonna come right up into a right hand. Boo! Mark versus Bronny James. Shout out to Bronny James, man. They be hating on you because you LeBron's son, but you doing your thing. Mark versus Andrew Tate. If he underprepared, because he a big motherfucker, that's a big ass old head. But if he fight me like how the way he fought the boy Chase, I would break him up. Showbiz ain't got no knees. Shit. As much as he dicky, you would think he have some. The way he dicky, you would think he got Megan Thee Stallion knees. That nigga is in a whole different world when it comes to dicky, and that nigga a first team all dick eater for sure. Mazuma versus Wade. We talking about Dwayne Wade? The fuck? Hell no. Y'all niggas already brought up Southpaw. He a bitch. That nigga will never fight me. No, I'm not 6 foot. I'm 5'9". And my weight, the last time I checked, I'm in the 80s. I done came down some pounds, man. The weight concept. Oh yeah, I went back and forth with that nigga. Yeah, he got upset because of my opinion and shit. But I think he did a fight before. But I think he big though. He a big white boy, bro. I'm not fighting these big niggas, bro. I'm really not. In his shape, bro. I'm in the 50. I'm in the low 50, like the low 50, low 60 area. I'm around there. When a nigga like 180, 190, 200, and they solid in shape, ready to go, bro. I'm not fighting them big ass niggas, bro. Joe Rogan versus Mark, a good fight. If it's boxing. This nigga said in an octagon. Bro, this nigga Tricks is tripping. Mark versus Vito. Vito will fuck me up. You saw when Ness sparred Sean Porter? No, I didn't. I didn't. Um, in shape, I'm solid, 250. But are you in fight shape though? Most likely not. Mark versus Oscar De La Hoya, you trying to get me killed, brother. John Jones, you really, yo, Dwight crazy. Yo, Dwight, we met in person, man. Why you gotta why you being like this, man? John Jones, you done said some wild shit, bro. You put me in there with all killers. You trying to see me die. Mark versus Tyron Woodley in boxing. If I get in shape, I'll definitely do that. But Tyron, he heavy too. Shit. But I'm a better boxer than Tyron, though. Mark versus Shane Mosley? Hell no. Hell no. Mark versus Bakram? Yo, Z, go fuck yourself, man. That's what we gonna do the rest of the live. Y'all niggas frying me. Who Showbiz and Olympic gold medalist, dick eater, that's a fact. No, I ain't seen that spar Sean Porter, but I seen Charlemagne the God box Sean Porter. Motherfucker punch like a fairy. That nigga can't fight to save his life. Yo, these niggas be talking like they can actually rumble them. He put them gloves on. Cause that's the thing, bro. Like, just because you don't know how to box, don't mean you can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get a good indication of how well a nigga fight by the way they throw their hands. Y'all niggas be claiming y'all can fight. Technique trash, defense ass, like no defensive responsibility. Y'all don't turn y'all punches over. Y'all feet be all over the place. Like, come on, bro. I'm so glad my dad taught me how to defend myself, bro. That should be like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, that shit should be like required of you. You know how like niggas be like in school they teach you about your health, math, English, all that, bro. Like real life skills, bro. Niggas should know how to grow their own food. Motherfuckers should know how to should understand taxes and financial responsibility, shit like that, and then self-defense. It don't have to be boxing. None of that. It needs to be some form of self-defense. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever. Like, everybody should know how to defend themselves, man and woman. I guarantee you, if you teach everybody how to defend themselves, you ain't gonna be seeing niggas fighting all like that. Mark versus Sean Haney. He fought his second amateur fight was at my gym. Shout out to Sean Haney. He won too. He's good. He gonna be all right. He could box a little bit. He kind of fight like Devin. That's the funny part. But obviously he got a lot to work on. But that kicker fight, man, he quick. He got good. And you can tell he got like a long reach too. So he got good straight shots. He put his combinations together. He believe in himself. You can tell. Sean Haney gonna be all right. Mark versus Ugas. Man, nah, Ugas will beat me up, man. He was a dog. I like Ugas. Did Sean Haney fight Ryan's cousin? Yeah, I think they 1-1 against each other. Today's self-defense is a 9mm. Well, you're gonna be asked out if a nigga got a 9mm with him. What if both of y'all got 9mm and be like, yo, let's, you know what, let's not do that. Let's put the guns down. Let's throw these bitches. Now you asked out. Mark versus Tom Holland, I'll fuck him up in front of his bitch. You wouldn't want to do that. Mark versus De Los Santos, shit. Man, keep them strong ass Dominican niggas away from me. Is Tim Tszyu better than Ugas? I mean, they different. You know what I'm saying? Skill wise, I'm gonna say no. Skill wise, I think Ugas is a more skilled fighter than Tim Tszyu. But Tim Tszyu does do things better than Ugas. Then he got better power, better pressure. I feel like Tim Tszyu is a more dangerous fighter, but the more skilled fighter is Ugas. There's a difference. Like if you in the ring with both of them guys, you will be in more danger being in the ring with Tim Tszyu than you would be with Ugas. But Ugas is a harder fight in terms of trying to match wits with him and all of that. Like I tell y'all, like he beat Manny Pacquiao. That's a great win for Ugas. I thought he beat Sean Porter. That's just me. I thought he beat him. Ugas look like Roger from American Dad. That's crazy. You making fun of that nigga alopecia. That's crazy. Mark versus Jamal Charlo. Fuck no. Hell no. That nigga, that's a strong. When you could put a nigga down with a jab, mind you, I used to do the same shit. But nah, Jamal Charlo's, nah. Hell no. Tim was all right. I don't think he's underrated. I think that Tim got a lot of defensive flaws, and one thing about Tim though, I think what makes Tim a dangerous fighter is not just the pressure, the punching power, the aggression. I think it's his fighting spirit, man. I think that quality in itself, the fact that he's willing to take them chances, he believes in himself, and when he's in there, he's giving it his all. Like, yeah, he got fucked up by Bachram and all that shit, but man, he was trying, man. He was trying. He went out on his shield for real. But I don't think it's physical attributes that make Tim Tszyu a problem. I don't think it's really his skill set neither. I think it's like his qualities. I think it's his psychological side of him. I think that's what really makes him dangerous. Slime is no, you're wrong. He can't grow a beard, bro. He has alopecia. He has an autoimmune disorder. So you're wrong. Earl washed meat. As calling another man washed meat is crazy. Will and determination type of fighter. Yeah, and those are some of the most difficult fighters to deal with, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They may not be like Tim Bradley is an example of that for me. Tim Bradley didn't have the biggest punching power. He didn't have the craziest speed. He wasn't the most skilled. But one thing about Tim Bradley, bro, for one, he was a student. He was a student. That nigga said he used to study the referees. He used to study the judges. He watched film on top of film on top of film. So he was a student. And to this day, Tim Bradley only lost to one man. He only lost to Manny Pacquiao. But Tim Bradley's dog, his determination, his will to win, it was just that shit was second to none, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like Tim was a fucking dog, bro. Tim was one of them niggas when he was in there, like you could tell, like you gotta kill him. You got to. Esau Cruz, a will and determination type of fighter. He definitely has that. Yeah, he's a pressure. He's a one-dimensional, in my opinion, pressure fighter. But with Tank, he did have some underrated defense, though. I'm gonna say that. But we got any last questions before we get up out of here, y'all? I'm about to go call it a night. Go lay down with my son. My son got his own room. He like to sleep. He like to sleep with his father, man. So I'm about to go do that. Thoughts on Mikey Garcia as a boxer? Mikey Garcia is one of my favorite fighters of all time. So of course you ain't gonna hear nothing but praise over on my side. Mikey Garcia is one of the most underappreciated fighters of his era. I think he's one of the most underrated fighters of his era. I think a lot of people don't really take into consideration how good Mikey Garcia was. Mikey Garcia really embodied the fundamentals of boxing. Mikey Garcia, like I said about Tim Bradley, he wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the most athletic. He wasn't the most powerful. You know, he didn't have the craziest speed, but Mikey Garcia did everything well. He wasn't like a master in one particular area. My father said this, and I agree with this 1,000%. He wasn't a master in one area, but he was good in every department. And that in itself is what got him to where he needed to go in the sport. Solid jab. One of my favorite 1-2s. Mike Garcia got one of my favorite 1-2s, bro. Good right hand. Good counter punching ability. We seen that with the Dejan Zlatić fight when he put Bo to sleep. Good counter punching ability. Good accuracy. Solid defense. You know, I've seen him, fight on the back foot at times. Could fight on the back foot. Could come forward, put pressure. He could be aggressive. He could come forward and bang with you. He could fight on the inside. He could box. Mikey could do it all, man. Mikey could really do it all. And he had respectable punching power as well, so you wasn't just going to walk through his punches. He said Mikey's the Mexican Bud. Well, no, not really. Bud had different things that Mikey, he had a lot more range than Mikey. His punches, he was a lot more, he was bigger than Mikey. He was, stronger than Mikey. He punched harder than Mikey. Bud was a much better fighter than Mikey, in my opinion. But Mikey Garcia, I think they fought each other in the amateurs too, and I think Bud beat him. Mikey Garcia, in his own way, man, like I said, monster. Especially in those small weight, like 126 and 130, bro. Y'all need to go watch Mikey in those small weight classes, bro. 126, 130, even 135. I think Mikey should have capped it right there. Well, 140 would have been a good division for him too. But 126, 130, and 135, Mikey, animal, bro. He got some good wins too, man. Like Mikey got an underrated resume. He did some good shit in boxing, man. How well will Mikey do at the current 126 to 135 divisions? He would do really well. You know what I'm saying? Like Espinoza would be a tough fight, but I think Mikey could figure that out, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And then one thing about Mikey, he had a hell of a chin. Durable. You know what I'm saying? Man, Mikey versus Oshaki would have been a good ass fight. Mikey versus Navarrete. Ooh wee. What? You said what? Mikey loses to Shushu? You out your rabbit ass mind. I'll bet whatever on that. That nigga ain't beating no Mike. Shushu ain't beating no 126 Mikey Garcia. Hell no. Somebody better tell this nigga. Mikey versus De Los Santos. That's a good one. Mikey more skilled than De Los Santos, in my opinion. Mike, De Los Santos explosive, strong, dangerous puncher. Y'all think Espinoza just gonna beat Mikey? I think y'all got Mikey fucked up. I really do. I think y'all got Mikey fucked up. Espinoza ain't proof enough for y'all to be saying that he'll beat Mikey, bro. I need to go check Mike. Mikey was punching at 126, bro. That was probably his best weight. Man, Mikey will fuck Shushu up, bro. I'm sorry. Like, because it's like Shushu could box, but I don't think he boxed at the level that Mikey did. I don't think he was stronger than Mikey. I don't think he punched harder than Mikey. Mikey had all the tools, bro. I'm telling you, he was like that. Mikey versus Tank. Now that could have been a problem, but Mikey got the fundamentals to beat Tank. Mikey was responsible defensively. He had good combinations. He had enough power to definitely get Gervonta respect. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. And then he one thing about Mikey, he was always in great shape. He was in great shape. You know what I'm saying? So he probably would have outworked Tank. I don't know. That would have been a good one, though. He got to be on point with Tank, though. That's for sure. But at the end of the day, I don't think Tank would have fought Mikey any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to wrap up this live, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and show love as always. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'll be very much appreciated. This is a great live. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've been on here with y'all for 2 hours, and it's time for me to get some rest. So I'm going to bid you guys adieu. Thank you very much. I'll be back at y'all with another live tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Please.